What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a continuance of yesterday's video that was titled Peter Coles is a Fraud, because Peter has officially responded publicly on Instagram with a 23-second long video that's meant to, I think, prove that he's not a fraud, but we will get into the details of it in a moment. But first, if you haven't seen the previous video, of course go watch it, but I need to give you some context for this video even if you have seen the previous one. So in this video, he speaks for 23 seconds, he speaks in Dutch, and then he basically calls me out at the end of the video saying, "Where's the response at, bro?" So that's what I'm doing right now. Now, in the video, he says in a few weeks he's going to go do some Dutch interviews, and I assume that is to prove his abilities in Dutch, although in the video he also says he doesn't need to prove himself. But clearly he does because he's dropped a video publicly. Now, I want to show you, this was the final outcome of our review in the previous video, and you'll notice that old mate Dutchy is sitting right down here at the A1 level, and the reason being is because Peter had some pretty bad pronunciation, and he only dropped 2 videos publicly in Dutch previously, which were like literally 1 sentence long type of thing, so it wasn't really enough to be able to make a good analysis, and based on what we got, it was an A1. Now, Peter has dropped this video, and we're gonna watch it in a second, but I do want to tell you that the results of that video, based on some initial reviews, is somewhere between a B1 and a B2. So clearly, Dutch is going to change position. But let's watch the video now.
Voor een stuk zullen de beweringen van deze freak onwaar blijkt te zijn.
I love that photo. I don't know where he got that from, but that's such a stereotypical type of photo from me.
Ik hoef niks te bewijzen. Ik woonde en werkte 3 jaar in Nederland. Alles was in het Nederlands. En ook over enkele weken zal ik naar Nederland vliegen om interviews in het Nederlands te doen. En kijk even, geen greenscreen. Ik ben niet aan het lezen. Ik spreek gewoon Nederlands. Dus tijd om te reageren, bro.
Okay, so time to respond. Let's do it. So based on the previous review, which was based on a couple of lines of him speaking Dutch, his Dutch is actually better than it was reviewed as. So we're going to move Dutch up to a B1/B2. Now, I will point out that this is a 23-second long video. It could be, memorized. Until we see those interviews, which is what I was waiting for, it could change again. But let's put it at the B1 to B2 range. Now, there was no cuts in the video, so we're going to remove the scripted part, although, again, it could be memorized, but I'm just pointing that out. So we've now removed that, and as you can see, his official response has moved 1 language from the A1 territory to the B1, B2 territory. That doesn't really change anything overall, because the claim was, I speak over 25 languages fluently. That's the claim that we were working at here. So what you've done is you've moved 1 language up into the possible fluent category. Now, it may be higher. It could be a B2. We've got to wait for those interviews. But it's unlikely to be a C1 or a C2 at this stage. Now, I do want to point this out, that additionally, Polish, we were hammered on that in the comments section. Apparently, we overestimated his Polish abilities, and a lot of people were saying that there's no way this could be a B1 or a B2. Grammatically, it was fine, but pronunciation-wise, it left a lot to be desired. And in fact, most people were saying it's somewhere around the A2 range. So realistically, I could probably push the Polish down, but I'm not going to. Because, again, we need more content. Which is what I said at the end of my last video, Peter. I said, if you want to do interviews in all these languages, I am open to that. I was open to it before the video, which you turned down by deleting my comments, and I'm still open to it now. Now, you're saying you're going to fly to the Netherlands and do interviews and stuff, and that's how you're going to prove your language abilities, but you only mentioned Dutch there. What about the other 20+ languages, some of them which don't even exist in this goddamn list here? Are you going to do interviews in them? Or are you going to, like, drip feed them over the next, 15 years type of thing? What's the plan here? Because so far, this has actually cemented my belief that you are a fraud. Because if you actually spoke these other languages, you would have done what you just did in Dutch in mass and just like showed off your ability in all these other languages. And then you would have said, you know what, I'm going to do interviews in Romanian, Czech, Spanish, Swedish, Danish, Ukrainian, Mandarin. I'm waiting for that one. Like, you would say you're going to do all that. And what about the languages like Portuguese, where you claimed fluency, yet we have no public videos of this? Are you going to do those videos? Like, what's the plan here? Okay, because so far, what you're doing has just moved one language. Are we going to go backwards and forwards, me and you, one language at a time, one going up, one going down? We're just going to dance around this pony, like, over and over? Like, sure, if you want to do that, that's content for me. But I don't think that's great for your reputation. Anyway, we're at the end of this video. I highly enjoyed the freak picture that you included of me. It was really nice. It was a nice touch. Perfect. And I'll see you all in the next video. And, well, who knows, maybe the next video we'll be doing a one language review again until we hit all 25 languages. If that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do.